Good morning, everybody. It's another episode of Intellectually Honest, unedited, uncut. We're going to get right into it. Before we get started, y'all know the deal. Go ahead and do all that flash. Hit the YouTube algorithm likes. Go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and most definitely hit that notification bell. That way you'll be notified every time I drop. We almost at 300 subs, which is a great milestone for myself personally. And I really appreciate everybody who decided to come along for this journey, helping the channel grow and tuning in and get this content, who let me know that they really rocking with the content. I really appreciate those of you guys who get active in the comment section. That's like my favorite part of this whole thing, just seeing your takes on my takes. Whether you agree or whether you disagree, let me hear it. But without further ado, we can go ahead and open up. So I saw the game last night. And I got some takeaways from it. Before we get started, though, we're going to go ahead and open up the stats. Lonzo Ball and the Chicago Bulls roll into Dallas, Texas, where Luka Doncic at, to face off against the Dallas Mavericks, who are coming into this game was on a 5-game winning streak. The Bulls were on a 9-game winning streak. So the winning streaks were on the line. So what happened? I'm going to tell you what happened. Let's get into these stats. Out the gate, we got Zach LaVine, star shooting guard. He did not have a great shooting game. Now, 20 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals. He kind of stuffed the stat sheet moderately, but his shooting percentage was in the toilet in this last night. 21 shots to get 20 points. We already established. We already went over it for all the novices out there that don't follow professional basketball or organized basketball. Each shot is worth at least 2 points. And so you can imagine taking 21 shots to get 20 points is not good. He only shot 33% from the field, only 28.6% from the three. He did hit all his free throws, but it don't matter. And he had 4 turnovers. So not a great game by Zach LaVine by any stretch of the imagination. But with the same respect I gave Vooch last game, I'm not going to kill him because Vooch has been on a tear. He has, DeRozan. The same leeway I gave DeRozan. I'm not going to kill him like I didn't kill DeRozan last game because these guys have been on an absolute tear offensively. And, it's more or less just a one-off or, just like a once in a blue moon type of thing where these guys are going to come out and stink up the joint the way they did last night. So I'm not going to kill Zach, but I fully expect him to bounce back, but it was not a great game by him. And that's part of the reason why the Bulls could not pull this one out. So speaking of Vucevic, though, he returned to his true form. More or less, he did not have a great game, and this is the thing, I don't want to kill Vooch either, though. Since I brought him up before, I don't want to kill Vooch either. I didn't kill DeRozan, I didn't kill Zach. I don't want to kill Vooch because Vooch has been looking better. Like, he did answer the bell, he did answer the call, he did rise to the occasion for a decent stretch of games. So I'm not gonna kill him. But man, if you watch the game, if you was actually tapped into the broadcast, sheesh, Vooch looked bad, man. Like he looked like I almost wanted to put Tony Bradley back in there. I was like, come on. I think Lonzo, it was a play. It was a play. If you were tapped in, Lonzo Ball trapped Luka, snatched the ball from Luka. Luka fell, complaining to the refs. Lonzo Ball pushed it ahead to Zach. Zach gave it to Vooch. Vooch is 7 foot, by the way. Zach gave it to Vooch, and Vooch had a clear path. It can't get no clearer. I'm thinking, all right, his 7 foot self is gonna go up and stretch out and dunk it. He not only did he not dunk it, he bricked the layup. Like he didn't even. I don't think the ball even hit rim on the layup. It was not good. That was an ugly layup. I was like, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. And Zach even took a double take at Vooch to make sure like you ain't hurt, like you hurt or something. Like once she saw that Vooch was all right, he just kind of ran back up the court. He's like, nah, you just decided to be trash in that moment. But whatever, I can't kill Vooch. He had 13 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal, a block, 2 block attempts, 17 shots to get 13 points is trash. 20% from the 3 is trash. He didn't get to the free throw line at all. And he plus minus negative 12. Vooch did not have a good game at all. But I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt because he's earned it. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and trust that he'll bounce back in the next game. I think the next game against the Pistons. So that's like a game that we can come back and get the Bulls can come back and get their bearings, back with, together. So, yeah, not a good game by the Vooch. And the trash performances continue. Not really trash. DeRozan had 20 points, 50%, 56% shooting, so not really trash. 4 points, 8 assists. And you think that oh wow, that's a great game by DeRozan. But not really. If you watch the game, and I'll get to it when I get to my takeaways, but the Bulls have a problem that they should have been addressed months ago. So when I get to my takeaways, I'm going to talk about it. But yeah, DeRozan, 20 points, 4 assists, 4 rebounds, 8 assists, a block, 56% from the field. He didn't hit a 3, 50% from the free throw. Only 1 turnover, 3 fouls. So not on paper, you think, oh, that's a pretty solid game by DeRozan. But like I said, I'll touch on that further when I get to my takeaways. And now, Lonzo Ball, the number 1 son, the reason why we're here. 9 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals, 42.9% from the field, 50% from 3. So he was definitely sniping last night. He didn't go off in these amazing 3-point performances that we've seen him have before, but it was pretty standard stuff for Lonzo Ball shooting 50% from 3. Now, Lonzo Ball, the issue that I have with DeRozan is connected to Lonzo Ball as well, and the Bulls as a whole, really. So just keep that in mind for when I get to my takeaways. Lonzo Ball did not have a great game scoring the ball, but Lonzo Ball, his defense was the only thing keeping the Bulls dominant or making them look dominant in that first half until the Mavericks calmed down and started hitting their shots. So it's like Lonzo Ball had Luka Doncic kind of in a bind. Luka didn't have a very efficient scoring night either. But until before Luka started getting his teammates involved and really started hitting these guys for these corner threes and stuff, that they were just lighting it up. The Bulls were looking dominant, and a lot of it was largely due to Lonzo Ball's defense, stuff that won't necessarily show up in the stat sheet. Like the 3 still showed up, but man, it's like even the plays that he didn't record a box score stat was still impressive. So like I said, we'll get to that in the takeaways. So moving on, DJJ, 9 points, 8 rebounds, pretty standard for DJJ. Nothing to really talk about. Kobe White started out very, very high. Like I said, if you look at Kobe White's box score, 13 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 55.6% from the field. You would think Kobe White had a pretty decent game, and he started out that way, but he finished really, really cold. And everybody else on the bench kind of just went to, they was kind of just asleep tonight. Nobody really did anything notable. So anyway, let's get into these takeaways, man. First takeaway is the Chicago Bulls the Chicago Bulls have 2 glaring issues. That's my first takeaway. The Chicago Bulls, let's rewind it back. The first takeaway is Chicago's defense is in desperate need of a second look by Billy Donovan. He needs to get these guys back motivated to play in how they were playing like toward the early parts of the season. Granted, a lot of those teams were like kind of trash bucket teams. They were kind of like as I see a couple of the press conference and whatever touch on. A lot of these teams aren't whole. A lot of the league is dealing with injuries and health and safety protocols, yada yada yada. But I think that the Bulls desperately need to take a second look at their defensive schemes, because outside of Lonzo Ball, like I said, when Alex Caruso comes back and Javonte Green comes back, a lot of this stuff will be sorted out on its own. But Lonzo Ball cannot be the only guy out there playing defense, man. He cannot. That pick and roll defense, they were getting cooked in the pick and roll, that drop coverage. I don't understand it. I guess they're willing to give up the mid-range shot. The only problem is when teams take and make the mid-range shot, you look stupid. And the Bulls ended up looking stupid last night with that drop coverage, because once Luka realized that there was going to be nobody up on him coming off the pick and roll, he was able to kind of just wheel and deal at will. And that's kind of what did the Bulls in. So the Bulls defense are in the desperate need of a kick in the pants, like the fire up under their feet, whatever. They need to get it. They need to get into gear on defense and give Lonzo Ball some support. I know Vooch isn't necessarily known for being a defensive stopper, but something has to give. It has to be some kind of effort given there on the defensive end by everybody. So that's takeaway number one. Takeaway number two, and it's kind of centered around DeMar DeRozan, but I don't want to single him out, even though I guess I probably could. And that's his mid-range game. Now, I know what y'all thinking. His mid-range game has looked nice, and it has. And it is nice. But the problem is when you get down by 10 or more points in the fourth quarter and the other team is hitting threes, you need to hit threes. And I know y'all might be thinking, the Bulls have three-point shooters, and that's true. But in the fourth quarter, if you really been tapped into these games, who's taking all of the shots? DeMar DeRozan takes good shots, bad shots, contested shots, shots he has no chance of making. Everybody else ends up sitting around, and by the time they do get the ball, they're so surprised that they finally got it. That three-point shot, even if it's a shooter who normally hits it, that his chances of hitting it are decreased significantly because he hasn't shot the ball in a while. He's gotten cold. So that's a glaring issue that I noticed last night. That even in the fourth quarter, as DeMar DeRozan was hitting a few mid-range jumpers, it's like it didn't even matter because the Mavericks were coming down and hitting threes. And when you're trying to come back and you're down double digits down the stretch, you need three-point shots. And that's where I love the way DeMar DeRozan has been playing this year. But if the Bulls are going to make a deep playoff run, then I'm telling you that mid-range ISO ball, that has to be secondary. That cannot be your primary diet. It has to be secondary. You know what I'm saying? That's like you trying to get in shape, but your primary diet is McDonald's, and every now and then you eat a salad. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's just you hustling backwards at that point. And that's what the Bulls are doing, and it got exposed last night. It got exposed because, like I said, and it even trickles down with Zach LaVine. Like, these guys are taking difficult shots. Zach LaVine is taking the shots that he had to take last year. I think more so out of habit. I think that they still don't trust the system. They trust their talent, which they should, but they don't trust their talent within the system. If that makes sense. So that's why DeMar DeRozan, and it kind of sheds light on why DeMar DeRozan and why the Raptors could never really get all the way to the finals back in the day. Why the Spurs could never make the playoffs. It's like that isolation ball looks great when the shots drop and those mid-range shots look impressive and they remind you of Kobe and they remind you of an era long past. But when it comes down to the come down, if you're down double digits in the fourth quarter and you're trying to come back, you better be hitting some threes. You better be getting threes, and you better keep your shooters high. So that's that. And my next takeaway is that the Bulls still don't. And speaking, I'll use that to segue. As far as the Bulls not trusting the system, I use that to segue into my final takeaway, in which they don't trust Lonzo Ball. I don't know. I know every now and then Lonzo Ball will have like a breakout game where he just looks like stupid, incredible, like just like the guy who can make this all work, because he is the guy who can make this all work. But the Bulls have to trust him to make it all work. And I know I don't want to be overreacting. I don't want to be overreacting like, the win streak came to the end, it's all over. It's not about the win streak. they were winning kind of in spite of these issues, if that makes sense. These issues have persisted for a long time. They still don't trust Lonzo Ball. It's not so much as Lonzo Ball being too passive. It's some of that. I feel like if he was more assertive and like, no, give me the ball. No, give it Rosen. You know what I'm saying? Then he would get it. But a lot of it too is just the mentality. Why does Lonzo Ball have to do that? You know what I'm saying? Like, trust the system, trust Lonzo Ball, because Lonzo Ball is good. If you give the ball to Lonzo Ball, you're gonna get it back anyway, probably in a better position to score. You know what I'm saying? That's all that's gonna happen. Lonzo's not gonna jack up 30 shots. That's just not his game. And the Bulls just need to believe in that. And until that happens, until they can make that shift, like you hear Billy Donovan talking about it, about needing to get downhill more, needing to push the rock and push the pace. And the Bulls are just bucking against that. It's like it happened once. I think Lonzo Ball reached up and got the steal and ran, then hit that nasty between the legs, but pass back to Levine. But that was like the only time they really got out and ran. And like I said, if they're trying to live off a healthy diet of mid-range twos by DeMar DeRozan, it's going to get them as a way to get to the finals. They're going to be in for a rude awakening in the playoffs. I get it. Like, you need mid-range shots, but mid-range shots do not need to be your diet. You know what I'm saying? Your primary diet. They need to trust Lonzo Ball. So that's about it. I'm not going to overreact to this win, but like, those issues do need to be addressed. The Bulls, due to their talent, they have been able to overcome a lot of them. But eventually they're going to have to rectify those issues if they really want to become the team that they have the potential to be. So other than that, it's another episode of Intellectually Honest in the books. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Like, comment, subscribe if you're really messing with the content. If you want more content, if you like Bulls content, Celtics content, Lonzo Ball content, and a little bit of everything sprinkled in between, go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. How?